Hi Cancer, my lunar brothers and sisters. Welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. And they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So before we get into it, I have a few announcements to make. First of all, thank you so much to all of you that pledged as part of my Kickstarter. I hit the target. I'm so happy and so humbled. So if you were a part of making that happen, it really does mean a lot to me. And I just want to say from my heart to yours, before I get emotional, thank you for making that happen. Now, on the 10th of December, so middle of the week, on the 10th of this week, I will be a part of a talk with Achyuta Bhava Das on his channel. And for any of you that have been with me long enough, you know that I'm super humbled by this one. So if you want to be there, please head over to his channel on the 10th of December. UK time is going to be, I think it's 5 or 6 p.m. So keep an eye out. I will be posting something on my community tab, so stay tuned. And also, for those of you that came to the for the winter solstice alignment activation session last year, you know how awesome it was. If you want to be there for this one, the link is in the description box below. It's $33.33, so super accessible for everybody. And what I love about this is I have a guest who is going to bring you insights that will absolutely blow your mind. Trust me, you're not going to find this information anywhere else. So if you want to be there on that powerful conjunction, hit the link in the description box and get your space. Spaces are limited, so please get them as soon as possible. So for your key to the week, you have the Temperance card. What are you in alignment with? What are you creating and what are you allowing space for? Is it, happiness, joy, abundance? Is it sharing, caring? Is it greed? Is it, maybe pinching on things that aren't yours? Or do you know what I mean? Like, this is a time to really check where your energy is at. You've got so many powerful things aligning for you, Cancer, that it's really important that you keep yourself not only in your own integrity, but also that you keep yourself in a space of alignment with the things that you actually want. The other thing with the Temperance card as well, this might see you having to play mediator this week. You might find yourself in between people or being drawn into some sort of drama that, quite frankly, doesn't really concern you. Do you know what I mean? And if you find that that's the feeling that you have, you know what, I just don't want to be a part of that, or I don't really care about it enough to be sort of in it. Stay there, right? Don't let somebody call you into something unnecessarily. For your actions and options this week, you've got the 9 of Cups. This is gorgeous, right? So this is coupled with the Temperance card. So on a personal level, on a deeply personal level, this could be a powerful shift for you. This could be a week where you come into some sort of realization that allows a very profound healing to happen for you. It might even bring you a profound sense of peace. This might be a week where you just say to yourself, you know what is most important to me? What is most important to me is peace. What is most important for me is for me to be able to trust who I'm connecting with, for me to be able to feel safe, with everything that I'm putting out, especially if you're connecting or collaborating with someone. You need to have that that level of that. And this is across the board: work, family, partnership, like all of these things. And this week there could be a really profound, powerful sense of healing that takes place. This could even, for some of you, if you've had a chronic illness over the years, this could be a week where maybe some big insight comes in on a deep sort of internal level that helps you unlock that. This could be a very powerful week for that. And also, you've got the Wish card in your actions and options, which suggests that this week, something that you've wanted for a long time or something that you've needed for a long time, this week you could finally see it shape up or arrive in your life. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 8 of Swords. It's not an easy card for communication. This week, especially with the Temperance card, remember what I said. You may be called into something that either has nothing to do with you, or maybe you're just not interested in. And more importantly, it may be that both sides of this, you know, if you are playing mediator this week, it might be that both sides are kind of like, you should agree with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're just kind of like, oh, you know what, this is really just, I don't want to be in all of this. That's one way that this could play out. The other part of this as well, if you do get stuck into something like that, you might get locked into it. This is not a week to make promises, especially if you know you're not going to be able to follow through on them, or you know, if you have no intention of following through on them as well. Don't pay lip service this week, because the chances are it'll end up coming back to bite you. Remember the 8 of Swords? That's a long haul card. So whatever you commit to this week, especially if it's something that you feel like you're under duress to commit to, don't do it. All right. For your money and materials, you have the Page of Swords right underneath the 9 of Cups. So for some of you, this could be a meeting that takes place. For some of you, this could be an invite or an invitation that comes up for you. Now, you do have the 8 of Swords there in the communications. So one thing that I want to say to you is, this is not a week to mix business with pleasure. It's not a week for you to mix business with pleasure, or business with family as well. That could end up getting really terse or tense at some point. Remember that the Page of Swords isn't actually, it's not a bad card, but it's an ambiguous card, right? So it can, and not all of them are, right? I know a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, tarot cards are ambiguous. No, they're not. I don't read reversals. There's a whole video on why. But this card it's literally one of the cards that can go either way. And with the 8 of Swords in close proximity, and yes, you've got the 9 of Cups there, which kind of alleviates some of that. But the stronger pull here for me is this. There is a potential for misunderstandings or disputes this week. So I would just be really careful if you're mixing business with pleasure or anything like that, because you could go into it with all of that, and you know, all of this beautiful sort of 9 of Cups energy, and what you get in receipt is the 8 of Swords, and you know, you're not going to be happy about that. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, please watch your hands, your fingers and your arms for knocks, bumps, bruises, and even like if you're, touch wood, if you're chopping stuff this week, please mind your fingies. All right. When it comes to your home and environment, it looks like you're inviting the outside in some way, shape or form. So this might be a meeting that takes place at your house. Maybe you're inviting people over. Maybe you're spending more time out of home than you are in it this week. Excuse me. Very possible. For your love and relations, for those of you that are partnered, I'm going to start there. This could be, I mean, it could be nice. There could be a lot of sexual tension between you and your partner this week. Maybe you haven't had any alone time for a while. Maybe you don't have the time or the scope for it. Maybe you've, you know, maybe you've got people overstaying and you can't, you know, because the walls are thin, or do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of palpable sexual energy this week for you and a partner, and it kind of feels like you don't have the time or the freedom to express it as yet, which just means that it's going to be great when you finally do get around to it, right? The other thing is as well, if you and your partner are working on creating something together, this week could throw up where both of you get a little bit artistic in your temperament, let's say. There's another way for saying, like, you're having creative differences that could come up, but you'll get through it because you've got the Temperance card and the 9 of Cups. So I don't feel like it's going to be too detrimental. For those of you that are single, you could be feeling at this point profoundly single, and you might be thinking to yourself, do you know what? I am ready. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to mingle. I'm ready to meet someone. And these combinations of cards kind of suggest that there is somebody coming in. Maybe they're already on the periphery of your vision or your orbit, but there's not quite a connection yet. There's a spark, there's a crush, maybe a little tingle, but you know what I mean? Like it's just forming. It's very, very new. So if there's somebody that fits that description, stay tuned. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Don't forget to get your session, your seat for the winter solstice session on the 21st of December. Take care, and I'll see you soon.